Tommy Colletti from the Music Zoo here at NAMM 2012 BC Rich Backroom with Neil Giraldo. He's got a signature model coming out. Big fan of your playing from back in the day. I think the first time I actually saw you play was on a show called Fridays.
Fridays, remember that?
Fridays, and you know, just all over BC Rich Eagle, and great tone, great sound, like great songs, you know. So I wanted to talk to you about the old days and finding BC Rich as a guitar, like in that 79, 80 range, and then coming back to it. I noticed you're using a Bigsby on the signature.
Correct, that's right, absolutely. So if we go back in time, in 1977 or early 78, I played with Rick Derringer, and I only had one guitar. I had an SG, a Gibson SG. So as soon as I joined the band, Rick says, you got to play something else. I play a Mockingbird. You can't play that. He says, but you could get an Eagle. So he gave me a couple, well, I went to BC Rich and made a couple Eagles for me. But the best part about the original BC Rich factory, because it was in these little garages, which were like industrial garages, and they had the garage doors closed. So they're inside with the fumes, with the dust. I mean, they were crazy. They'd come out of there like all glassy-eyed. And then all the craftsmen, and they're really artisans, when they're done, they would go to the Sip and Shoot. It was this bar, and all the money they made, they would go and drink it away. Then they'd come in the next day and make them again. But they were fantastic. They had the best wood, the best sound, the best amount of character. Yeah, they're fantastic.
And as soon as you found the guitar, were you using it to record as well?
Always.
It was just like always.
Yeah, it was the well, since I only had one guitar, the Gibson SG kind of went to sleep. So then the Eagle came to me, and it's just something about the shape, the feel, the sound just really felt right to me. You know, it had a real fullness, the pickups. I just felt really right to me.
Right.
Yeah,
and did you explore all the tonal stuff, or did
No.
you find one setting that you liked?
Only one setting. Rick would use a middle position a lot with the little phase switches, but I wouldn't. I would always go to back pickup for a lot of rhythm stuff. Sometimes solos would go to front, but I never really messed with the electronics.
Was there a thought process back then? I think you were using 2x12 cabs instead of 4x12s and stuff.
Yeah.
Was there like a sonic, you know,
Sure.
like I want to do that? And what was it?
Yeah, I did that because I as a player, rather than just a shredder, because I'm not that, I'm more of a song structure guy with chords and melodies that take the place of vocals when the vocals stop. So what I wanted is a more tighter sound. Got a lot of low end in my hands. So the 212 cabinet's a tighter sound, and it's 100 watts through two. So that means I could turn it up and get really loud, and they just hang right up my calves and scare the hell out of everybody in the front rows. Too loud. But I like the tightness of the sound. 412's got a little too much low end for me.
Okay. And now Bigsby, you turn into a Bigsby.
Correct. Yeah, I turned into a Bigsby guy. I used to play a Guild Starfire when I was very young, growing up, and I liked the Bigsby on that. And the Floyd Rose, when Floyd Rose came to be, he said, you got to try my product. When he first came out, you got to try it. But see, when I play, my hand goes on the bridge of the guitar, and I press down. So if you're on a Floyd Rose, it goes, you know, I can't use them. And I really like the Bigsby because I like to get, you know, the sound like waves. Like, for instance, when I did Battlefield, I didn't use a Bigsby. I actually bent the guitar, and I do this kind of stuff.
Okay.
And then my text says, don't you be doing that. Don't do that anymore. You're going to be stupid and break your hands.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, we're looking forward to it, getting the guitars in here, and again, big fan of your playing. And,
Thank you.
You know,
The new ones are great, too.
Success.
They're making some great product.
You know, like, so I'm a fan for a long time,
Sure.
and then just recently go back, and I didn't realize that you had produced some records that I love, like John Waite records and Rick Springfield.
Correct.
And you played some of the guitar parts.
I did
on
all
some
the
of, like,
guitars.
was it Jesse's Girl and all?
Jesse's Girl, and I did it. I've done everything for you. I did all the guitars and stuff. Yeah.
And as a producer, do you think differently now that you're like on the producing end of it as well? And
Not really. I've always thought of a guitar as a tool. To the end result would be a great song, a great arrangement. So even back then, even when I was with Rick, I learned a lot from Rick. He taught me a lot. But I always liked the idea of making the guitar be a part of the puzzle of all the other instruments. So I never really thought differently at all. So you know, if there's time for a solo, I play it, and if it wasn't, I didn't care.
awesome. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Tommy. Pleasure.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Cheers.